Hello, and welcome back to SoulHubFeels, where today I'm going to be talking about my experience with having epilepsy. So, yeah, I have been diagnosed with epilepsy. They undiagnosed me and then re-diagnosed me again. It all started about when, I want to say I was 15 is when it started. But honestly, I don't remember 100% when it started, but I'm pretty sure I was 15. And I had a random seizure at an event. My mother is a nurse, and I had an event there, or she had an event there, and I was there. It was like at a fair, and I ended up having a seizure. Couldn't have been in a better place. I was surrounded by nurses. So they thought maybe it was just a fluke. It was really scary because I just kind of blacked out and then woke up being lifted into an ambulance, seeing my mom cry and my stepdad at the time comforting her, and I had no idea what was going on. I was, strapped down to this bed being lifted in to an ambulance. You're sitting there fine in a chair, and then the next thing you know, you're being lifted into an ambulance. I blacked out entirely for all of it. So it was a very scary moment in life for sure. And that's just how all of mine work out. I entirely black out. I'm not the type that has my bladder or whatever doesn't release. I know that's a problem in other people. I got lucky where that doesn't happen. It's mine have always been very, very abnormally long, I've been told. Close to 5 minutes. Or 5 minutes is always about what I've been told that they last. So that was the first one I had, and they marked it up to a fluke. I ended up having one a week later, and if I remember right, this is the one I had next to the fire, is what I want to say. I was sitting on a tailgate and by the fire, and I actually just like face planted into the ground. Messed up my shoulder or my arm pretty good. I remember for that one, same thing. I blacked out, and then ambulance was in the backyard picking me up. Because now it's like, okay, you had 2 in a week. We got to figure out what's going on here. We got everything looked at. We got me on medicine. About 6 months later, I had another seizure, and this one was at school. So that was really embarrassing for me. And looking back, it doesn't bother me as much now that it happened. But at the time, it did bother me. I'm like, because, you got the guys that are gonna make fun of you for it and be a bit stupid and ridiculous, but it's whatever. Looking back now, it's okay. It happened. So then we finally got myself pretty well controlled and on medicine. I didn't have one for a very, very long time. And that's when they actually finally undiagnosed me. But we kept me on, we kept myself on the medicine. And I finally got to the point where I wanted to try getting off the medicine, because I said, as you grow up, you could potentially grow out of it. So I was like, okay, let's see. And I got off the medicine and was off it for a fairly long time before I had another seizure. And this one was very interesting, and definitely scared me back into just staying on the medicine, because it was such an odd experience. So I had blacked out, and apparently I had started I had gotten up off the couch from watching a movie with my ex-girlfriend. I got up, started cooking some food, came back out. Or no, how did this go? We were watching a movie. I got up, started cooking. But I was okay. Jeez, I'm having a hard time getting this out because it's kind of confusing to say it. I blacked out on the couch, but I was still moving. My body was still moving. It's like sleepwalking. So I blacked out on the couch and basically slept walk into the, like, had a conversation with my ex-girlfriend about going and cooking dinner. Started making dinner and then ate it in the kitchen. So I actually had the seizure in the kitchen. But then after the seizure, I got up, managed to come back to the couch, sit down, and then every time my ex would talk to me, I'd just go, shh, with my finger over my lips, shh, shh. And that I would just shush her. And then I finally came to. The whole thing lasted 15 minutes. The seizure itself was only 5, but I was like blacked out for 10 minutes of that, surrounding the time that I had the actual seizure. So it was very interesting when I came to, and I'm sitting there in the living room. I look over and my brother's there, and the kids, my niece, nephew, sister-in-law are all standing there. And it was terrifying to lose that amount of time. To know that I could black out, continue with my life, that have a seizure, get up from having that seizure, and continue my life. And be totally blacked out and not know what's going on. That is terrifying to me. So it really did scare me back into just staying on the medicine. And I've been on it ever since, and I just don't have seizures with it. I guess that's a lie. I did get a little a little out of whack on my medicine for a little while, where I wasn't taking it well. I was under some stress, and I don't have the epilepsy where it's like flashing lights or sounds that bother me, or my triggers. For me, they don't know what my trigger is, but what I've noticed is I always have them when I'm in when I'm highly stressed or something stressful is going on. That seems to be when I have them now. But I happen to be in a high stress situation, and I stopped taking my meds like as well as I should have been. And the same ex from the story before woke me up in the middle of the night and was trying to relieve some of that stress, is what we'll say. But I guess going from sleeping to that activity was too much of a jump. And I had one. And that one I stopped breathing, so the ambulance was called for that one too. And apparently I was kind of fighting Like I was blacked out, but I was kind of like fighting some EMTs and a police officer that was here when they were trying to get some clothes on me. So I got carried out naked, like to the stretcher and everything. It happens, I guess. So it was still, uh, that last seizure I had, probably I have the most physical pain from out of any of the seizures, because I have a pinched nerve. I pinched a nerve in high school playing basketball. So I don't know if I repinched that nerve, but it was almost like I was like almost like my body hurt, and it was like paralyzed from half my back down. And I don't know why the hospital didn't help me out, but my ex at the time basically carried me out of the hospital, out of the ER to the truck to get me home, and had to carry me inside too. And I'm a 200 like 35-pound man, and she's a little like 130, you know. So it was definitely intense. We'll put it that way. It was. I was out of work for 2 weeks, just due to the pain of not being able to walk or anything. So that's really my experience with having epilepsy. It's a scary journey, and I recommend just taking the medicine. If you have epilepsy, just take it. Play it safe, because you never know what'll happen if you don't play it safe. It's not something to mess around with, and I had to learn that the hard way, unfortunately, and go through a lot of pain and scaring a loved one, even if an ex loved one. But still, the point is, you don't want to do that to someone, and you want to take care of yourself. You do. So, Soul Hub feels.